everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited about today's topic because we're going to be speaking about pretty privilege, what it is, and my experience with it. This video was inspired by Osteph Ko's video on the same topic that she made a few months ago. If you haven't seen her video, you should go check it out because it's really good. She speaks about her experience and how she believes that she doesn't have pretty privilege. I learned a lot and I could relate somewhat to it, so go and check it out. So before we begin, we need to understand what pretty privilege really is and what it means. So I went on Google and I typed in, what is the definition of pretty privilege? And this is what I found out. It says that pretty privilege works on the principle that people who are deemed more attractive have an upper hand in the world and are afforded more opportunities than regular people. And of course, this is based on the society's view or the society's standard on what beauty really is. When I think of pretty privilege, I think of Lori Harvey, I think of Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, Ryan Destiny, and so many other beautiful women that we see, on social media and TV and basically in the world around us. So I'm going to share an experience that I had with you where I was able to really see that pretty privilege does exist. I knew that it existed before, but I was never really put in the situation where I was able to see things from both sides. And luckily, I was able to have this experience and I learned a lot from it. So last year, I went on vacation to the Democratic Republic of Congo. And I was so excited about this vacation because I was going to meet my then fiance for the first time in a year and a half. So I was super excited. And I remember it was during the winter period. It was still really cold here in Cape Town. And I remember that I really made an effort in the way that I looked. I wanted to look good. I wanted to give a good first impression. I was excited. And so I put in a little bit more effort in my appearance and I made sure that I looked good. I had my hair done. I wore nice clothes. I put together my outfit really nicely. I wouldn't say that I made a drastic change in that I wore tons of makeup and I was unrecognizable. No, it's just that I made sure that I looked a certain way and I looked beautiful, as society would say. And so I remember I got to the airport and immediately at the airport I could tell that people were treating me, nicer, friendlier, from the person at the till, at the check-in counter, to the people that I was waiting with. People were kind. People would, greet me and talk to me, especially when I boarded the plane and making my way through customs and when we had a layover. People were just really friendly towards me, especially the men. And this is just reality. They were really nice to me. And I remember I even had this one person who wanted to sit next to me because my seat was open. They just came up and they were like, is this seat taken? And can I sit next to you? I was like, okay. And they were really extra friendly and, they wanted to have a conversation. And people were just nice, really, really nice to me. And so the trip went ahead and I made my way to the DRC. I landed there and I met my then fiance and we had a good time. Fast forward to the end of the 10-day vacation, I had to make my way back home. And I guess I was a little bit more relaxed because I didn't really put much effort into the way I looked coming back home. The vacation was fun and I was in like a casual mode. I was wearing slippers. I had a jumpsuit on, but my hair was not done. My hair was just like plaited back in cornrows. I think it was like 6 or 8 cornrows that I had for almost a week. So they were pretty old. and I wasn't wearing any makeup, no jewelry. I just had my bag, my clothes, my slippers, and my jacket. And I could immediately tell the difference from my trip to DRC and my trip back home. People did not treat me the same way. I remember when it was time to board the plane from DRC to Ethiopia. We were walking towards the plane, and there was this woman in front of me, very beautiful. I could tell that she just put herself together nicely. You know, she had makeup on, and she had nice long hair, and she just carried herself really nicely, and she looked beautiful. She looked gorgeous. And honestly, next to her, I felt so like uncomfortable, because I was like, man, like, I did not even, try to look, nice. And this girl in front of me is getting so many compliments. People were just noticing her. I remember we were walking towards the plane, and there were these four controllers standing by the pathway towards the plane. She walked ahead of me, like literally right in front of me, and everyone greeted her and asked her, oh, how's your day going? Oh, have a nice flight. What's your name? That was extra nice to her. And when I walked past, no one said anything. So that was a really interesting reality check. When I got onto the plane, even the flight attendants were not that nice, and they were male flight attendants. So I just had an aha moment where I realized, wow, I'm literally the same person that traveled to DRC about 2 weeks ago, yet I'm getting treated differently based on my appearance. And this experiment, you could say, really made me think. It made me think about how we actually go through this more than we realize in society. From getting a job to getting treated nicely by a waitress or waiter at a restaurant, to traveling and getting better treatment, and the list goes on. Most of the time, the way you get treated for women, I'm not sure if it's the same for men, but for women, is influenced by the way you look, and it's influenced by if you fit society's standard of beauty. There are some people who can literally walk into a job interview and get the job just because they are aesthetically more pleasing, even if they don't have the experience or the qualifications that the job requires, but their looks opens doors for them. I think that it's sad that we live in a world where people can be given more opportunities based on their beauty. I don't think that that's what it should be based on. I feel that everyone should be given a fair chance in life, despite how they look. And I wish that it could change, but unfortunately, that's just how it is. And some people benefit from this, while other people don't necessarily benefit from it, not because they're not beautiful, but because society doesn't consider them beautiful, does not consider them up to their standard, which I think can be really, really toxic for young girls, for women of all ages, but for young girls especially, to grow up in the environment where they constantly have to face this reality of pretty privilege. But unfortunately, this is the world that we live in. So this is my experience with pretty privilege, and how I was able to see both sides of it with my unplanned experiment. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.